It's amazing to consider that I'm holding in my hands the place where someone once felt, thought, and loved. From just looking at it, there's nothing to suggest very much ability at all. It appears rather gruesome, wrinkled like a walnut, and with the consistency of mushroom. For centuries, scientists have been battling to understand what this unappealing object is all about. It all starts with this tree-like structure, a single brain cell or neuron. Your brain has a staggering 100 billion of these neurons. Together, they could generate enough electricity to illuminate a light bulb. To make things more complicated still, the branches of each neuron are connected to thousands of other neurons. It's hard to grasp the sheer scale of all these connections. Imagine a bustling city the size of New York. Give every person in that city 10,000 pieces of string. Tell each person to attach each piece of string to a different person. Now make the city 1,000 times bigger. This is the incredible tangle we call the brain.
Well, by 2020, we'll have computers that are powerful enough to simulate the human brain, but we won't be finished yet with reverse engineering the human brain. By 2029, and I've been quite consistent on this date, we will have completed the reverse engineering of the human brain.
The singularity is the idea that there is a singular point in the development of history where computers catch up to be as intelligent as people are. And since the rate of progress of electronics is faster than the rate of progress of biological systems, there's a point when computers match people at which things are irreversibly altered, at which computers then keep on improving faster and people potentially stay with our own cognitive architecture and we don't get to really improve nearly as fast.
John, consciousness seems like the most obvious thing in the world. We all know what it is. We all have it. But why is it so mysterious?
Well, there are several reasons. I guess the most important is that we have a certain conception of reality that's largely derived from the progress of the sciences over the past 3 centuries. And we think that ultimately reality must be material. And then we find, my gosh, we're all conscious. We all have this inner qualitative, subjective stuff, and that seems mysterious. And then another thing that makes it seem mysterious is we have this terrific religious philosophical tradition that says reality divides into 2. There's the mind and the body. There's the soul and the flesh. Look, forget about dualism, forget about materialism, and there's a way out of this conundrum.
All right, help me.
Okay, here's how it goes. Start off with what you know for a fact. Now, you know for a fact that you're conscious. Consciousness is real and irreducible. You can't get rid of it. Now, the second thing to remember, and this we've only come to know in the past couple centuries, all of my conscious states and all of your conscious states are caused by neuronal processes in the brain. And then third, consciousness is something that goes on in the brain. It is a feature or state or process going on in the brain. The key to this whole approach that I'm urging is we have to think of consciousness as a biological phenomenon. It's as much a part of human and animal biology as digestion or
Is there a common theme in these books that you've written on the limits of technology that requires us to bring in Merleau-Ponty at this point in the discussion again?
Yeah, well, I see now, I hadn't really thought about it before, but the way the discussion has gone, there are really just two components. When I was at MIT teaching Heidegger, I was interested in the fact that the MIT AI people said that we had mental representations of the world, that in our mind there had to be a whole model of the world on the basis of which we could then make inferences and act. And the computer people said, well, that's right, we've just learned how to do that. We have symbolic representations in our computers and inference rules that enable the computers to plan and to act. And now, there are several things to say about that. Mostly, I thought that this wasn't going to work because Heidegger and Wittgenstein too had shown that meant the whole Cartesian mental representation way of thinking about the mind's relation to the world is wrong. In Heidegger jargon, we are just an open head, in effect, turned toward the world. We are directly in a dynamic interaction with the world and other people. We don't have this intermediate of a representation in the mind. And so I predicted that AI was going to fail.
AI being artificial intelligence.
Yeah, right. Artificial intelligence was going to fail, and it now pretty well has failed. I started at Rand with a paper in 1965 called Alchemy and Artificial Intelligence, which is the basis of the book. And now my former students call this good old-fashioned AI, GoFi, this attempt to make what, well, I forgot an important piece. Simon said, Herbert Simon, and this is, you ask, are we machines or not? We are just like computers. They and we are simply, physical symbol systems.
That's what Simon said.
Yeah. In our brain, the neurons represent the world, and in the computer, the transistors or the chips represent the world, and we're going to make, Simon said in 65 that in 20 years we'd have computers that would do everything that people could do, and I said they're not going to be doing anything that people can do, and I won. I mean, good old-fashioned AI is out. Nobody does symbolic AI, or only one or two people. So
Gracias.